Hey guys, welcome to my garden. So this is my little plot of land that I've started cultivating. So I had a really big wooden sort of garden bed there, which I got rid of because it was rotting and causing a lot of ugliness, and it wasn't really that great. So I went and got some of these raised kind of steel sort of beds. So I got one there, one there, one there. I had these barrels which I bought for about $10 to $15, so I've used them to store water. So I've got a downpipe that connects to one of those maize downpipe connectors that goes into here, then it goes into storage, and then which connects to these two linkage, and they link them formations to water. There's some more water in there. And then I've got a little bit of a irrigation system that goes there, that goes all the way through to the plots. Now I know nothing about irrigation until I started researching it myself, and then start learning it, and start buying stuff off eBay. So I bought a similar system to these off eBay, and I have to tell you, don't bother buying stuff off eBay if you're going to go into irrigation like this, because the eBay ones are useless. They leak, they're too small, they don't handle main pressure from a main hose like that. They're really good for if you raise these really high and have a sort of gravity fed system where they literally drip. I've got two of these beds that have sprayers, and I want to give you a quick rundown on how to actually do this, and then saves you the hassle of what I did, which was learning from my mistake. So first thing is, you want to run the poly pipe up to where the garden hose exactly is, and then that way you have a connector. I made a mistake originally running the poly pipe up to about here, so I started my irrigation system from here. Bad mistake, because then you would have to waste a piece of another hose or connector, and the less connectors you have in the system, the less chances you have of breakage, the less chances you have of leaking, and the pressure's better, etc, etc. So you're in a world of hurt if you don't connect it to there. So I then had to rip out the old system, which I did here, and I had holes in them. You can see like this one. So this is now wasted, or I can use this later on in a sort of different system if I ever need it. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, you don't need 19mm poly pipe like this big one. This is 19mm. You could do with just a 13mm, which is easier, smaller, easier to manage. 19's okay, but then you're going from 19 to 13 to 4mm. So you got three different systems, three different sort of different sizes. I'd rather just stick to two, makes life a lot easier. So I have these on a dripper. So you buy these, you can get drippers that are single ones like these, when they come pack of 20s, and these are variable, so you turn this and it adjusts how much water comes out. Then you need a little barb connector, 4mm, that then you punch a hole and put that in. You buy a whole roll of these flexi pipe 4mm, and then you connect that, and then you feed it to wherever you want it to. Or you could buy these pre-made ones that have a stalk, a line, a dripper, and then you connect it to your 13mm, and then you put it where you need it. So if you buy the 19, then you've got a really big one, and then you got to go get a whole bunch of these to connect to the bigger dripper, the bigger pipe. And if you want to run an offshoot from a 19 to say a 14, then you've got like three different lengths, and then you've got these smaller ones that feed into your actual plot. So just stick with 13, and then you go 13 and then 4, and then you're done, instead of, you know, the three different types. So I would recommend you buy these drippers in a stalk if possible. These ones, the birds come along and they kind of like peck at it and they move it around, and you come back and it could be out here, it could be in here, it could be not where you want it. You can bury these obviously, which I've done there. These stalk ones are great. These sprayers, they do like a 360. They wet everything up to, you can see where it's dry and wet. You can set the variation to them, but they're not that great at setting the variation. Like the adjustment's not that great, so so just don't bother with them. So just run these drippers and you'll be fine. So I run individual drippers into these pots. So you got basil, chili, and strawberry, and then you have all these other basils and corn and other things that are growing in here and here. So I've got 3 drippers in here. You can see there's green ones, there's orange ones. The orange ones are the best. They're from a company called Holman's. These are Pope ones. They're not that bad, but they don't produce that much water. Sorry, they don't produce that much water as opposed to the Holman ones. Yeah, so that's the irrigation system. So this is from this, in relation to this is a 19mm connector self-leveling sort of, not self-level but leveling sort of tank. This is from a company called Maze. I don't recommend you use these pipes that they come with the kit because they're too short, and especially if you're using your own sort of storage containers such as these barrels, which I picked up cheap. The ones they have, these are 220 liters. The ones that may sell you are 100 liters, and they cost a lot more. So you get like 1/10 the price but double the amount of storage if you buy these locally. These used to be stored for water, and you can use them for storage or anything else, but sorry, these used to be storing for olives. So they're food grade. You just want to make sure they're food grade so they don't leak any plastic nasties into your water. I use this water for just watering only, so nothing else. The Maze ones kits are a bit sort of they're okay. They're like $25 Australian for the set of 3. So the connector goes into here. You have to drill a little 25mm hole, and then you put that in there. That's rubber, supposed to be on the inside, but I found drums are not flat. They're round, they're curved. So if you put it really low here, how there's a curve here and here, that connection will rarely ever be 100% tight. Plus it's too low to the ground. You won't be able to put your bucket or anything in there. So this surface, you want to look for somewhere on your barrel that's a bit more flatter, so it gives you a chance of getting a watertight seal. So I made mistakes in relation to these barrels, and I drilled them here or here where I thought it would be neat, but you can see this curve's pretty hard, and this is too sort of valley here. So I wrecked two of these pipes. Instead of wasting the plastic on the pipes, I cut them up and I drill holes in them. Sometimes they just empty straight to the dirt, and I'm going to use them as growth beds. So I bought another one. I drilled a hole in that, and I've got a connector on it which actually broke because I over tightened these. So if you get this system, if you tap it, a little bit of water comes out. They're not like super watertight. They're not like a $100 system where you buy them and you're guaranteed that it's never going to leak. So mine was leaking a lot, so I used a lot of Teflon tape. Make sure you don't over tighten these. They can break here. I bought the Pope branded clips. This hose is from the bigger 19mm hose that I got, because the hose that comes with the kit is just too small. So and that is a double clamp because the clamps that come with the kit are absolutely rubbish, and they don't actually hold them on tight. So plus the length is too short for what I need. So yeah, so hopefully it works out fine. The other thing is, this is also from the company Maze that do the same thing. As you can see, their kit is too big for the downpipe that I have, so there's a huge gap. So I made this out of some chicken wire, just bend it to shape, put it in there, stops any debris that goes in there, and I've tested it with some water and some rain. Well, the rain came down free and collected a fair bit. Yeah, so I hope that helps you with your sort of gardening inspiration and your needs in relation to irrigation. Like I said, I didn't find any videos out there that really told me exactly what I needed to do, and so I thought I'll share my experiences with you guys. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.